We are very pleased to be joined in the studio now by Isam Bayazidi, the CEO of ikoo.com. Very good morning to you, Isam.
Good morning.
Now, there's been a spate of Arab internet portals being looked at by Western institutions as potential takeover targets, and your company, ikoo, was founded in 2005. It's become the largest online advertising network in the Arab world. And a couple of weeks ago, ikoo was purchased by Jabba Internet Group. First of all, what is the main attraction of your company, ikoo, to Jabba?
Well, the online advertising business, as we've mentioned, have been one of the most attractive industries in the last 3 or 4 years. The pace of growth in the online advertising spend for the last year had been at least 50% in the overall spend and at least 70 to 80% in the years before.
Now, ikoo is an advertising network. What is an advertising network?
An advertising network is it's a model that represents and packages a large number of sites and offer them in a way to the advertisers and agencies that could provide them reach that is beyond a single site. So, for example, we have at least 120 to 150 sites within our network. We segment through the technology that we have those sites into the audiences that might be present on those sites, and we allow the advertisers to reach those audiences accordingly. So, for example, if we have for a certain sites technology sections, business sections, automobile sections, and we have like 20, 30 sites of those, and we make sure that the advertisers can reach the automobile enthusiasts or audience within those 20 or 50 sites.
Let me just get this straight, what you're saying. You have a network of 120 sites on which you can place advertising. These are not sites that you actually own.
No, we do not own any site. We have contracts with those sites. Most are exclusive that we represent, but as well we add value through the reach technology that we have that allow, for example, retargeting and targeting for audiences.
So, in other words, I have a site which I think is doing pretty well, but I can't afford people to go out and sell the space and to actually improve the advertising on the site. I come to you,
yes,
sign a contract with you, and then you go out and do that for me.
Yes. This is mainly what we do. And this is what most of our ad sites are coming from. Most of the 120 sites that we have are one-man show kind of sites that are from Arab young entrepreneurs, mostly in Saudi and Emirates and Kuwait, that have their own sites and would like to make an extra buck through us.
Now, we're all familiar with the massive growth in online advertising around the world, but this is a slightly different market, isn't it? Because we still have quite a dominance in conventional advertising, particularly in print. What are the stats that sort of support, the drive towards online advertising?
Well, especially with the kind of a slowdown economy, we're seeing an increased demand on a measurable kind of advertising and marketing. The return on investment measurement that can be provided with online advertising is unmatched. And with that, we're seeing an increasing growth in the market.
What's the year-on-year growth, for example? I mean, how strong is it?
For example, in 2009, it was around 50% in terms of market growth. And we are expecting that in 2008, it was around 70 to 80. That is year to year between 2007 and 2008. And we're looking for next year to be even much more aggressive growth, because this year had been somehow slow in terms of online.
But how sticky are the adverts? I mean, and getting people's attention and getting them to hang around on the site. I mean, how is that effective here?
Well, this is, I guess, where volume comes in place. Because with online advertising, for example, in our network, we have around 1.2 to 1.4 billion impressions. We're reaching around 35 million unique users. So with volume, even with a low stickiness factor that could be appearing with the online site, you can make sure that you are reaching a sizable audience through the volume. With
all the sort of efficiencies in search engine technology, if I have my own website, what's the inducement for me to come to you? I can sort of basically do some research and make sure that I have proper search engine placing, so on and so forth, and get frequency of people visiting my sites. Why should I come to you?
Well, if you have sites and if you have search engine optimized site with visitors that comes to your site, I guess we come in the where you can monetize your traffic. If you would like to make revenue out of your site more than what you have in average, we can make sure through the reach that we have with the agencies and the packaging technology that we have for the network that you can make much more revenue out of the traffic that you have on your site than you would when you go with kind of a standalone kind of sales effort that you would be having.
Sounds like ikoo has been doing pretty well, actually, as a company over the last 5 years. Talk a bit about the deal with Jabbar Internet Group that has bought ikoo. What is the attraction to ikoo of having them as owners?
Well, Jabbar Internet Group came as some kind of a result of the Maktub Yahoo acquisition that took place in the last few months. The owners of the Jabbar Internet Group are the same owners of the Maktub company that had the transaction earlier. So we've been in the online business as Jabbar, because and I come out of Jabbar as well. So we've been in the online business for a long time. The a network as a concept in the Middle East hasn't yet developed. We do not know of any other networks that have the same model that we do. So we are seeing that within a growing online industry, that the online advertising industry that is taking place in the region, that there's a place for a network to be established and to be somehow with a good audience and reach and on a market share in terms of spending.
What was the value of the deal? How much did Jabbar pay for ikoo?
Well, the value number can't be disclosed. Both are privately owned companies.
What is the turnover of ikoo?
We're looking at probably a sizable number, I guess. When yeah.
Oh, you're not going to give me an exact figure there. So I mean, you talked about 1.4 billion page views,
yes.
40 million unique visitors each month. I mean, are you able to give an average revenue per visitor?
It is difficult to do it that way, because one of the challenges that we have is that the 40 million visitors that we have, as an example, are segmented into audiences that are less monetizable. Probably 50% of the audience that we have are coming from North Africa. North Africa audience isn't as monetizable from our perspective as it would be from Saudi Arabia, from the GCC in general, and so on. So it's difficult to make that kind of calculation. If we do, it will be unfair, I guess, to the overall sizing of the revenue.
So now Jabbar's, excuse me, and so now Jabbar's got ikoo.com. What's it going to do with it?
Now we're working on adding extra technologies to it. One of the things that we are adding, bringing out of Jabbar, is the text advertising platform that we are adding into the ikoo advertising portfolio, if I might say.
Okay, just explain that for our listeners. What
text
that will
advertising mean? It's we're adding to ikoo technologies that would allow targeting ads within the context of a certain site. So, for example, the technology would be scrapping the pages, making sure that the ads that we place are in context with the page, with the content of that page. So that allows the advertisers to have a much more relevant ad appearing on the page, and for the performance of those ads to be much higher than the average, for example, ad that would be appearing out of context within the site.
So, for example, if I'm searching for a car, that something related to that car brand, for example, would pop up, or a dealer's name would pop up alongside it.
Yes, that's basically it. Yeah.
Now, one of the increasing trends, I think, in websites around this particular region is a pop-up that opens up when you change page, and you have to close that to be able to read the page. It is annoying, but is that just the price that we have to pay to get free online content, or do you think it's something which is a bit unsophisticated and will go away eventually?
I think it is. As you mentioned, the formats of the online advertising have been evolving. Some stay, some kind of disappear. Even this we call it transitional ad, where between you move between two sites, you see this annoying ad, as you describe it. That ad makes sure, as you mentioned, that the free content can be still available, because so far the pay to see kind of content hasn't been evolved in the region, and I guess that the advertising still the main source of revenue for the content online.
Good luck with the business. Issam Bayazidi, CEO of ikoo.com. Thank you for coming into the studio.